gentlemen, welcome to Cinematic Analysis. Hello, Mom. But yes, we're doing the Joker movie. Finally, after 4 weeks of waiting, we finally did the Joker movie. I'm here with 4 amazing people in this podcast. Thank you. And yeah, that's what I was going to say. First off, he is, I think, the co-host, I'm not sure, of the Moshcast and anything like that. And, he posts everything around here. He's basically the man of the house or man of the podcast, Jason Bailey.
I am also known as the Standing Ovation and the Pun Man, but I'm not making puns in this podcast because this isn't the Moshcast, so... But we're back for cinematic analysis. As you might notice, it's Sunday. We are no longer recording on Tuesdays, because Tuesdays isn't a good day for most of us, but Sundays is a good day. So,
yeah. Right.
So you know what? Regardless, let's get down to Joker.
Next up, he is called the Assassin. Basically, he is basically an open and honest friend over here. If you need to talk to him about anything, he's got your back. Also, the other guys will say "fuck you," except for me. But yeah. So he's the assassin. He's a pain in my ass, but I know him every day. So Josh Dinker.
I appreciate that introduction. Well said, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, everybody around the world? It is I, the assassin, Josh Dinker here. How long has it fucking been since I've been here?
Since the premiere.
Yeah, it's been a while, guys. So I'm glad to be back here, reviewing definitely one of my favorite DC films for a solo character, Joker.
It's DC month too.
I really can't wait to talk about this movie. Definitely, I have a lot in mind to talk about. So yeah, let's get down to business and have fun talking about this cool and badass movie.
Yeah.
And as I sit here and eat my fucking McDonald's, so let's get on the way.
He's not loving it. Anyways, moving on to the next person. He is one of my co-owners of Crash and Burn. Pretty much we hosted an episode yesterday. He's a man who jump on his chair. He wears chicken costumes apparently now. But he's one of my good friends. We know each other for a couple years now. Wyatt.
Yes, and that is my debut here.
Yeah, it's your debut.
Cinematic Analysis. I am very excited to come on here. I know you haven't seen me on here before, but I am tickled to review this movie. This movie was pretty, very, very smooth of a movie in the beginning, but it just got freaking better at the end. I'm gonna tell you, that movie was just unbelievable. I really think it was a really good movie. I can't wait to review it and discuss my opinion and pass it on to the next person. But I'm definitely glad to be on here, and hopefully I get to come on here more.
Yep. I'm glad to have you, man. First time, I'm glad to have you here. And last, certainly not least, yeah, of course. Sit down, man. It's not your time. But
sit down, young man.
I'm gonna choke both of you. Anyways, moving on to the last one. He's swept on the latest episode of Crash and Burn. He's also the resident sleepyhead of this podcast. Hope he doesn't sleep during this episode, else I'm gonna find him. It is AJ Anzalone, or AKA AJ Pain in my fucking ass. Here we go.
He's not frozen.
Is he frozen?
God damn it! Look at his face.
I gotta get a picture. All right.
On 4K, AJ.
All right, I got the picture.
All right. I'm sorry, AJ. You gotta get removed, man. My bad. You got froze. But yes, we're going to the first part of the movie. You know who I am? I'm your host today with Cincio. Julian, Madi could not be here. Couldn't be here. And everything like that. So yeah, AJ, come on in. Come on in.
I guess he's just here.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of the Cinematic Analysis. I know you haven't seen me in a while, since the debut episode, which my apologies because I was busy. But yeah, welcome to a new episode of Cinematic Analysis where we review a Joker, which in my opinion is actually a good movie. But you'll see what I have to wrote about this movie. I cannot wait.
So you know how this goes. If you've seen this episode, I'm gonna reveal all the parts in this movie. If five plots occur in this movie, and we also when I'm done, you can explain what you like about this part that I'm talking about and everything like that. So yeah, Jason can help you out with that one as well. So let's move on to the first part, shall we? So
if you have something to say, then raise your hand. And
as
then
well.
since like we don't have Julian or Madi here, since I know they're busy.
Yeah. So moving on. So we first start off with Joaquin Phoenix. Not forget me, but we saw Arthur in his costume, in his clown costume. You know, got his full makeup ready to go. And you see him do this. First of all, that scene right there was creepy as shit. It had a tear on his face and everyone that was just creepier alone. So you know what? He's grabbing the sign, you know, doing everything like that. Or whatever, trying to get people in the store, getting know the store is ending or whatever like that. And these four kids come along and they decide to beat him up. They decide to jump him.
Yes.
And
they like took his sign at like on the street because he had a sign that said everything must go. It must be like a clearance for a store or something.
Yeah, by closing the store. So
I do remember the kids beating him up.
Yeah, the kids beat him up and anything like that. I was pretty pissed off with that one. So going that part, yeah, they also his laughing at me was just crazy. And then moving on to a little bit of that, you know, Joaquin, you know, was down, and then he goes out to see his mother as well. So he lives with his mother in this movie. And we see in a flashback, we see they have Murray, the Murray show.
Yeah.
And so a show flashback of Arthur being in the movie, well, but in the show, and say about, you know, he's living with his mom, being a man in the group, man in the house, and then like that. We see him explain that, and you know, it brought motion to him. So that honestly right there was kind of heartwarming. And then you kind of go on anything like that. You also meet somebody else that's kind of like his love interest, but kind of not at the same time. I don't remember her name, but she was also in there as well in the first scene. And, you know, anything like that. And then we get into the first appearance with his gun. So Joker, you know, this TV going on like that, and he had his gun or whatever. So this is the first time like having a gun in his hand.
Yeah.
And he decided to use it to shoot against the wall by accident. He was dancing around with the gun and he shot the wall. And his mother woke up. He's like, "What was that?" And the Joe's like, "I'm watching a war movie." So yeah, so that happened the first part of the movie. There's other things that happen, and also as well, we have to meet some new people in the second part of this movie. I think in the first part we made what was it? What was it? Where do you find him? Thomas Wayne. It was Thomas Wayne. We also meet also in this one as well.
Yeah.
But she's a big part of this because he's a politician in this one and running for mayor. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, anything you want to say about the first part of the movie? AJ.
Yeah, what I thought about this first part, I feel like this one was alright. I mean, I didn't like. There was like one thing I didn't really like at the beginning, like when the kids are jumping him. Like that made no sense. I don't know, man. It just, I don't know. And then like Arthur was laughing at something in front of his therapist. I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he was laughing at his therapist.
Yeah, and then he's trying to be, and he's telling her, he wants to be a stand-up comedian, and yeah, he wanted like more medication from her, but she said he already has like 7 medications, pretty much. Yeah. And he's trying to get help. He's trying to get freaking help, man, but apparently that's not gonna work when we get to the next scene. Hopefully, like when we get to the next few scenes, we'll see what happens, because this is not the only scene where there's a therapist. And then like there was one part that he was in a train with a kid, which he made laugh, which was really good. I bet he's really good with kids, but and then the mom was not pleased at all. Like, can you stay away from my kid, please? Like, yeah. And then like, and he pretty much like, and he cannot stop laughing because he has a medical condition. I don't remember the name, but it's something with laughing. But it starts with an N.
I have it on Wikipedia, but I'll go when I have a chance.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Yeah. Just tell me what you're. What
hey, Jade, no spoiling it.
I know.
No,
But, no,
yeah,
I know.
All right.
But like, but and then he cannot really stop laughing. And then like his mom and Arthur are watching the Murray Franklin show. And then like there was like one point that Arthur was on the crowd, and then he yelled, "I love you, Murray!" And then
he said I love Murray.
And then Murray responded, and then they had like a conversation, and then like when they, and then that led up to like Arthur coming down the stage, and Murray and Franklin like. When the show was on commercial, I think, or was it ending? I don't know. But I bet when the show ended, I think Murray and Arthur were like they had a whispered conversation, and they hugged it out and all that stuff. Yeah, and that's pretty much what happened. Are we up to the part when oh yeah no wait, that's next scene. All right. Okay. Anyways.
So I'm gonna move on to anything. Why you anything want to say about it?
About the beginning?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm from what I know, he was just the stand-up comedian. But it kind of was effed up, that these kids would get childish and gang up on him. From what he had, which is with his life of crime and unemployment, he suffered a neurological disorder that caused him to laugh at inappropriate times, depending on social services and medication after being attacked by delinquents as Arthur's co-worker Randall gives him a gun for self-defense. Arthur pursues a relationship with his neighbor, his single mother, and invites her for an upcoming stand-up routine meeting up at a nightclub.
Yep, that's happened.
That happened.
But all I can remember in the beginning is Arthur pouring a cup on his mother in the bathtub.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Good point.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go to Josh.
What I liked about the movie, like before I say in terms of like the first part, like you gotta give props. The Joker character in the DC world had a lot of actors prior to Joaquin Phoenix, but come on, I know I'm kind of getting off topic, but this for just a solo film about Joaquin Phoenix, as the Joker, I think he nailed the shit out of this role. I'm not saying any other Joker actor is bad. Everybody's Joker in the DC universe in the movies are different because of the way they look and the way their character looks. Basically, if you guys were wondering, oh, why didn't he have the purple suit and he had the green hair, that doesn't give it the Joker away. But you're like, why didn't he have the purple suit? Basically, this is the origin story of how Arthur became the Joker. It's not in the Batman saga. It's not really but it takes place in Gotham City.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But for the first part, I really didn't like how the kids started ganging up on him just because he was dressed like a clown. He was kind of, just trying to entertain people and put a smile on people's faces. Because that's what you do when you're an entertainer. You put smiles on people's faces and you try to make them laugh or do whatever you do in terms of what you do on stage or comedian-wise. But, I didn't really like that part. But when he started, when he's sitting on the train, it kind of when he had those visions in his head, and then he started acting all psychotic. I felt there was something that really transpired well with the actor and the character itself, and I just thought those the visions and then acting all psycho was just fucking good. But he just started, but at first you realize, oh, he's this normal guy and he's helping out his mom and people are protecting him because he gets bullied a lot. And when the kids ganged up on him, it kind of reminded me in my own situations. But I really didn't like that part, you know. But it says, well, entertaining
Pretty much.
But like Wyatt said, his coworker gave him a gun for self-defense. You know, that's kind of, you know, what happens.
Kind of fucked up.
It is. It's fucked up. And, you know, I feel like you should only use a gun if you work for the law or if you're required to use it. Exactly.
I mean, with that though, you know, he does laugh just like a clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said he laughs at at the most inappropriate times. Like, it's part of the disorder. Like, he couldn't control that.
Yeah. I had a friend that was that
and he smoked a lot of cigarettes.
He did. In that movie, he smoked a lot of cigarettes.
A lot.
Anything else you want to add in?
No.
All right.
Pretty much.
So the beginning, my thoughts on that, it's not really cool how the kids were ganging up on Arthur because he just wants to be he just wants to make people smile and and bring positivity to people's faces. But
it's hard to bring positivity with people in the city. Like, look how bad and tragic all these cities are. When I went to Dallas back in New Year's Eve, I was in the shit part of Dallas.
Yeah.
There was pimps, thieves, people who looked like they were going to get up in your face and that they were going to kill you. You know, look at all these terrible cities. Chicago, New York City, Miami, Dallas, Los Angeles, Detroit, Baltimore. All these cities, you know, there's going to be like shit like this. It's hard because people walk past you. It's hard to entertain someone in the city.
It is.
It is. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, like nowadays it's hard to like put smiles on people's faces because you don't know what goes through people's minds. You know, these people, like, especially in New York City, it's fucking crazy. Like, you never know what happens. Because, you know, you never know. They might pull a gun at you. They might pull a weapon at you. They might freaking punch you in the face. They might do something that is fucked up and ridiculous. You never know nowadays. So, guys, community guidelines or just a protection plan. Always protect yourselves at all times.
Yeah.
No weapons needed.
Keep safe.
Yeah. Never trust a person that's going to betray you.
Don't trust strangers.
Yeah. So for that scene, all I was just looking forward to was what's gonna happen in the rest of the movie after that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this as well. You know,
and that's my take.
With Josh, for example, because you know there's a lot of negativity. It's hard to really put a smile on people's faces how very negative the world has become and society has become.
Yeah.
And we know, and you know how cancer mean, you know, he can't help himself. You know, he can't help himself, and you know
he has something wrong with him that he can't help.
He has like a disorder.
It's like that outsider. You know, kind of like the outsider.
Yeah.
And you know how are with outsiders. You know, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what I gotta say about that? Let's move on to the second part of this movie. So we go on about this movie, and you know, Arthur decided to write his mental health thing going on.
Really, Wyatt?
Yes. So we get the mental health thing going on, and he also does a bit of dancing as well. So a part I want to discuss about on the second part of the movie. So there's these 3 people, I think 3 or 4 people in the subway. And they're harassing this girl.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
From rubber bands or anything like that.
Name.
Joker was not Joker. But Arthur was laughing. He was starting laughing or whatever. You know, he's laughing at at the appropriate time, you know. So he does that or whatever. And they go into him and try to knock him down, but they didn't realize what he had. He had a gun. And before that, he went to a children's hospital to entertain them. And guess what dropped out of his pocket? It was the gun that dropped out of his pocket.
That easily falls out of people's pockets.
Yeah, and then he got fired, I believe, that same day.
Yep, he got fired from his job.
Yeah, he got fired from his job. So, Joker is down, and they really doesn't have the gun, right? And they start all these people. You start one, I think, in the chest, and one, and I think in the leg or shoulder, or something like that. So they already killed 2 people already. Then you go next up, you see the guy is trying to run away from him. He got shot in the guy, so he can't really run that fast. And so, Oliver chases him or whatever, and he decides to run and try to go after him about it, and he shoots him right in the back of it, killing the other guy. Say what you want about the Joker right there, but his shots didn't miss. It reminds me a lot of Deadshot. He doesn't miss. So after that, he runs from the scene, fled from the scene. Nobody knows what he did, anything like that. So we move on to the part where he's trying to be a stand-up comedian, and he starts laughing for no reason. And his jokes, anything like that, was just about his life and how his mother said he doesn't want to be a stand-up comedian or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much I got for that second part of the movie. AJ, you want to discuss the second part of the movie?
Yes. For this second one, I remember when Hoyt and Arthur had a conversation about the sign that was ripped off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the sign was ripped off by the kids that pretty much took down Arthur in the first scene, but they had a conversation about the sign and he wanted the sign because the businesses are cutting back.
Something like that, yeah.
I've been there. I feel like there's something that was going out of business, and Hoyt was really pissed off about the sign being ripped off. And then and then that one time, Arthur saw a girl with a daughter, which is Sophie and Gigi, and Gigi was the annoying little girl, trying to ask questions to his mommy, Sophie, of course. Which, if you don't know, Sophie is the love interest for Arthur. Which, that part, I wish that went somewhere, but they didn't really include her too much. What the fuck? Anyways, and then Arthur was chilling and talking to himself. Then all of a sudden, he was playing around with his gun, and then boom, there was a gunshot, but he didn't shoot himself. Which, why? I don't even know why he did. Why did he play with a gun in the first place? And then there was one part that he looked at Sophie at the train, he was trying to follow her and all that stuff. And then Arthur was, and then after that probably Arthur was studying comedy. He went to a show probably, and then he was back home, I think, and then write some jokes down. And then Sophie and him. No, I'm not gonna get to that one. And then he went to a hospital with kids, and guess what he bought? He bought a fucking gun. And then after that, he got fired from his job at Ha-Ha's. And then I don't know if we're up to this part yet, but he was, no. I feel that is that the part we stopped at? That he got fired?
What part are you going to?
We're up to the second part. I'm just reading what I have. I'm up to the third scene part, but
what's it about?
Is it some mean guys or something? Yeah, I don't think that's the third scene, right?
The detective just asking questions?
No, not that one. He was in a train with some guys, and
Oh, where I talked about the part where he had like the visions and like stuff inside his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we up to that one?
We already talked about that part.
Oh, we already did.
AJ, you're going too far.
All right. I'll go to Josh.
Yeah. So basically, in this part, like he while he was entertaining at a children's hospital, his gun falls out of his pocket, and then the guy who gave him the gun lied to their manager that it was Arthur's gun, not his, and that costed him his job. So Arthur went on the subway in clown makeup, and he looked depressed, and he's encountered by these three drunk guys of Wayne. They're businessmen from Wayne Enterprises. After breaking in laughter while they harassed the girl, he shoots two of them in self-defense because if someone's like looking at you suspicious, and if you're like, if they have a weapon and you don't know what to fucking do, you're in fucking deep shit. So I mean, if the self-defense part in a way is something that can help you out in a way. So he shot two of them, not like he killed them, just cause he's fucking nuts. He killed them in his own defense in case he was gonna get punched or shot or whatever. Anyhow, it also says that he murders the third. Now that he can go to prison for because he murdered the third guy. But the killings are condemned by the mayoral candidate named Thomas Wayne. He's a billionaire. He calls, and then if you saw the people in the clown masks, they were protesters, clown masks. So they were protesting not against Arthur, but they were protesting for him. I believe they were on his side of the story, and they were fun. So they were protesters donating clown masks in Arthur's image, funding cuts, shut down the social service program, leaving Arthur without therapy and medication. Now that's kind of fucked up because if you you have a certain condition and you need the right help for it, you need therapy and medication to help you control yourself. That kind of was fucked up in a way that they tried to shut it down to not give Arthur the therapy and the medication he needs for his condition.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like how that part was kind of like included, because the thing is, if you have a certain condition in life and if you need medication and therapy to help yourself out, you can't just protest somebody who has that, and you can't just say, oh, shut it down so this person can't get what they need. They need that to help themselves. You're not getting
Right.
The protesters are not getting it. They're getting it for their own sake.
Yeah.
But honestly, the second part was more fucked up than the first, I think, because the first part mainly talked about how he really enjoyed the entertainment as a child, and then wanting to do it as an adult, and then trying to help people out in a way that he could in his best way. But I feel like the second part is more leading into a fucked up story where they're going against him than on his side. That's pretty much what I have to say.
Yeah. So why?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely do remember some parts here. I do. I remember when Joker had that when Arthur had that gun, in that children's hospital singing "Happy" and You Know It, and then that led to him getting fired from his job, and especially that incident on the train, which the guys were harassing this girl, and
Right.
Arthur was laughing in the background. He's like, "Oh, what the hell are you laughing at?" So yeah, definitely damn right. You freaking shot him. So he shot two in the train, and one was trying to break out, and then he got shot twice after he climbed up that staircase. But what else happened in the movie? How many parts are we doing? 4?
I have 5.
Oh wow.
I can split to 4 if I need to.
Okay.
If that works out for you.
We might have to do 4.
4. All right, that's good.
It just makes it a lot easier.
Okay, I can do that. All right, so I'm gonna say about the medication scene as well.
Yeah, and the medication as well, because if you do, like with medication, like if you do need the medication, get it.
You need it.
Yeah, because even if you're fighting with your demons or you're fighting with your struggles, the help or the medication you need to get it, and that's exactly what Arthur needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was something happening, and with that, for example, it's kind of like, but they need that, they need that to cope themselves. If they don't, it's gonna be
I feel
bad.
like one of the reasons was smoking a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah, I think also was because he smoked a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, with that scene, and that was crazy. So I'm gonna move on. Actually, no, I forgot about Jason for a second there.
So remind me of the scene. I was checking out something.
The second part. It's the second part of the
It's the
scene.
second part of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Anything to say, or when we move on?
I don't have anything to say really. Just go ahead and move on.
All right, I'm gonna move on to the third part of the movie. Now I have 4 or 5 parts, but I'm gonna combine them both, or kind of split them up at the same time. So the third part is gonna be kind of long. So moving on. So I think his mother got into the hospital, or trying to go to the hospital without a stroke. So I think before or after that, he got a note from somebody, and it made him smile. Then he goes onto the train, and he saw a picture of Thomas Wayne. And, him with Thomas Wayne, he doesn't like Thomas Wayne. So what's up? He rips up the newspaper and does everything like that. So his mother go into the hospital, but his mother go into the hospital and had a stroke, and she was barely surviving. And Gigi was up there, and he was comforting Arthur, which is a good thing to do.
No, not Gigi. That's Sophie. Not
Sophie.
She's
Sophie.
the daughter.
Sophie. Whoever the mother was, I'm gonna say the mother. But well, the mother decided to comfort, which honestly is a good thing for a example, because you don't know what the person's going through, or his mother is dying, or whatever like that. So it's a good thing to comfort somebody during that situation, because you don't know what that man's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man,
it's like
because
but
I
you
think
have to try.
His mother, was you had that building, and then she got carried onto an ambulance, so had a stroke and then got onto the ambulance and then went to the hospital.
Yeah, and then we also met 2 detectives, and they asked a question about the scene, and he ran away from it to check on his mother, and everything like that. Like, I'll give it to the girl. She was trying to do her best for that man. And then we have also a riot as well. We also see a riot. Everyone's going after everyone's going after Thomas Wayne. And, everyone they like it. They're wearing clown masks, and everyone like that. They're starting with clown masks. And also went to that as well. Now we do meet Thomas Wayne and his son, Thomas Wayne's son, and the Joker as well. We meet that, and we go into, and so Thomas Wayne, messes his son, and then try to make him laugh with a balloon and everything like that. And Thomas Wayne goes up to him, and they confront each other, and then Thomas Wayne tries to strangle him or whatever. And we go into the part where he realizes he got adopted. So apparently they were talking, and then he said, "I'm your dad" or whatever. And they decided to go, "Hey, I'm your dad." And they realized, and joke said, Thomas Wayne said, you're adopted. And they got the papers and it said he was adopted as well, which led to the fourth and fifth part, which led to the fourth part, which I'll get into. I'll get into all that and everything like that. So with that as well, he goes to his mother, and he realizes what happened, and then he suffocated her with a pillow.
Yes, in the hospital.
In the hospital.
Oh yeah.
So that was the fourth kill, I think, in the movie. Fourth or fifth kill in the movie.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, that is my third part of the movie, and yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. So I'll go Wyatt.
Oh boy, definitely kind of did not surprise me of him suffocating his mother. Also, the fact, what else happened?
Anything in mind?
I can't think.
Can't think. Move on.
I'll get back to me.
All right, AJ.
All right, what?
All right. I got some stuff down on here. I know that he was on a train and ripped out a newspaper that had Thomas Wayne on it, which because he was trying to get in as mayor, and then people were not happy about that. And then he saw like a kid named Bruce, and then Arthur
Bruce
and Magic.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and then his mother was taken to a hospital due to a stroke. Like that's really tough. Like when your mother's in a hospital and you're involved in any of this, I would imagine that pain, man. But also like some detectives are asking him his questions about that scene of that subway like self-defense case.
Oh yeah.
While Arthur was trying to visit his mother in the hospital. And then all of a sudden he went to the hospital and visited his mother. And then he saw himself on TV. And like that last scene, like he was like at that same event I said earlier. Like he went to that one show. He went to the same place and then did some stuff and people were laughing. And then and then Thomas Wayne was like pretty much like making points of him not being funny. And he and then like there was one time that the clowns were protesting against Thomas Wayne because obviously he wants to be mayor and they don't want him to be that. And then Thomas Wayne was taking a piss, and then Arthur came to the bathroom and they confronted each other. And then like Thomas told Arthur like you're adopted, and then like Arthur tried to shove like I don't know what led to the fight, and then like Thomas punched Arthur in the nose,
punched in the face,
in revenge of his son Bruce, which Thomas and Bruce, they're father and son. And then like there was one part that Arthur was putting himself in the Wait, am I a little bit too far?
No, keep on going.
Arthur was putting himself in the fridge. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's the fourth part.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think that's it for me. I was gonna say some stuff that Josh was making that last scene. I was gonna say that because I didn't know what we're doing, but yeah, pretty much. You could go ahead and move on, Lucas. To next.
All right, I did have something to include here.
All right, yeah.
Okay, what?
But yeah, definitely do remember, about Thomas Wayne running for mayor and, people around wearing those clown masks, that whole riot there around the subway. I think I'm at the right part.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, and a bunch of the traumatizing and all, but I do remember at they gated at the home, and Arthur there with that little boy, and he did this to his face. And I think that little boy, I think that is Batman. I think that is Batman.
That could be true.
Could be true.
I think it's Batman.
No.
I'm sorry, y'all, but I think that's Batman. That's Batman.
Yeah, I think it's
because
his real name is Thomas Wayne. I think it's his real name is Thomas Wayne.
And I do remember when Arthur was like grabbing his neck, trying to choke him to death. But
that didn't work.
But it didn't work. But and of course, yeah, Arthur did not like Thomas Wayne and especially running for mayor.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Jason.
So for this scene, I kind of enjoyed this one. It starts to get pretty chaotic here, and then especially the mayor part, I thought that was pretty cool. And then I think that's around the time where we got introduced to that kid, right?
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne. Yep.
Bruce Wayne.
Batman.
And that is Batman as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's what I got.
Josh.
So what you guys were saying about you guys thinking that was Batman, and that actually is true. If you guys remember in the DC comics, it always starts as Batman being a little kid, and his parents obviously get killed in like this accident. So pretty much you have your mystery solved. Thomas Wayne, like Batman, I don't know if that's Batman's real name. We all know Batman as Bruce Wayne, obviously, from like all the movies and comic books, but you're on the right track with a lot of like the stuff that you guys have been talking about, because it's always that one thing. Here's who Thomas Wayne actually is, according to the comic books. He is the father of Batman.
He is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically how the comic book story works of, Batman's parents getting killed is, Bruce Wayne's inspired to fight crime as Batman because of that scene where his parents get killed. And, in the comics, everyone says, who killed Batman's parents? Yeah, and everyone's still trying to figure out the mystery. And, who's Batman's, who's like Batman's arch nemesis? Like who's like Batman's, number one enemy, and that's the Joker. So, like, if you put two and two combined, Joker did the whole crime. But this is not relating to Batman. This is just the Joker himself. And that guy, he sees Thomas Wayne, and then, Arthur, he's still in that phase where he's basically in that phase where he's still psychotic. And I'm reading this, the killings are condemned by Thomas Wayne, he's the mayor of Gotham City, who calls those, he called the clowns but then, demonstrations against Gotham's rich people began, of course, with the protesters in Arthur's image, with him protesting about the social service program that he needs for his therapy, which leads up ending, to where it leads up ending into this part of the movie where, if you know Sophie, who's the one who attends Arthur's stand-up routine, and it goes bad, of course. He has that uncontrollable laughter because of his disorder that he has, and his jokes fall flat. You know, like if you do a show, you have to be funny. You have to do a joke that you're gonna make the crowd laugh, and he just couldn't do that. So Arthur got he got a letter from Alfred Pennyworth, from Penny to Thomas, alleging that he is his son, and he betrays his mother for hiding the truth. Arthur goes to Wayne Manor, where he meets his young son, Bruce, who we all know as the Cape Crusader later on in years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And but he flees after a scuffle with the family butler, Alfred Pennyworth, following a visit from two police detectives investigating the train murders that we saw earlier.
Yeah, I explained that part.
Yeah. Especially the fact, I don't know if it was a jail or something, but I remember that steel gate being there and that guy just standing there, and you know they were like pulling Joker. It was Arthur's. What was it, like a joke book or something like? They pulled it, and then he literally pulled the notebook, ran all the way down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what was that about again?
I do not remember. I don't think.
It was like the part when he found out like the truth about himself, pretty much, and he was trying to hide it, pretty much.
Yeah. So, are we going to the fourth part movie, the final part movie?
Yes.
Let's go there.
All right. Let's get to the ending, the final part, the big old climax of this movie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. So, the Joker now spits in the fridge after killing his mom or anything like that. Right. And he goes to the fridge to get a call from the detectives. And also get a call from the Murray Show. As well, get a call from them. And Joker's like, I'll be there next Thursday. So, he goes there, all dressed up and anything like that. And then we get to see two people. There's one midget guy who basically looks like Hornswoggle, basically. And then you can see a average sized dude. So they talk to him, whatever. And Joker, he's getting ready for the show, whatever, like that. So they decided to talk to him, whatever. And Joker kills that normal sized person with scissors and bashes his head a couple times into the wall.
Randall. That's Randall.
Yep.
Into the wall. And dude, it was a brutal kill. That was one of the best kills in the movie. So that is, I think, the fifth or the sixth kill of the movie.
Yeah.
And so that was a good kill in that movie. And then the little guy was like, "Oh shit, this is not good." So Joker lets him out. He wants to let him free, whatever.
Yep.
And before that, okay, Phoenix. So Joker decided to also go into the mom and daughter's house or whatever like that. Decided to go to their house and he started laughing for no reason. And also it led to the stair scene. The stair scene when Joker was dancing off the stairs. That right there is one of the most iconic scenes from the movie. When he just start dancing the stairs and the music going on. That right there is iconic. And he's like dancing, going down, trying to against the movie. And the police or whatever found him, whatever. So they run against him. And Joe got run over by a car. And then so he run or whatever. He ran from the cops and goes to the train. And I see these people with a mask. The police killed one person from that. And Joker got out of there just in the nick of time before he got caught. And he runs up fast as he can to the Murray Show. Guy's makeup ready, sucking a cigarette, and Murray was talking to him about how the show is gonna be. So Murray introduced so what's his name? Hold up. Offer. So, Murray introduced Offer to us from the crowd. He's just interest, whatever. Not gonna lie, he got some dance for himself. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, good fit, whatever. He sits down and talks to them or whatever. He gets on at first, and then he starts talking or whatever. And Murray's like, let's go make a joke. And he admitted, then he talked about the 3 kids that died as a comedy thing. Because he think his life is nothing but a comedy. So he made it that he killed those 3 people in the car because those people were horrible to him. Because he expressed that his team said if it was me on the street got killed, he probably walked over me, which is true because that's an outsider things. And coming from an outsider's point of view, I really do agree with Joker here. There's a lot of people that have these proper, things or like that. And you have the outsider that's trying to make the good out of the world, trying to carry this world by his shoulders and try to be, the vigilante or try to be, you know, that person to try to help. Because Joker is not a bad guy. Whatever. He's not a bad guy in this movie.
He's
Just a
not.
vigilante.
It's basically talking about life.
He's just a vigilante. And he goes on his rant about how society treat him and how they treat outsiders like him, which is very true nowadays because I'll be honest, because society does basically treat with the outsiders and people that are different from us, they treat them like shit. And basically, I'm going to be honest, this world has got very split with a lot of things. It's like the more not coming together, but the more go against each other. That's why we got a bunch of riots, we got a bunch of fights, a bunch of killing, because people cannot just get along with it like that. So then he does another joke, whatever like that. And then Joker got really pissed off at Murray because Murray said something about him and he says, You're a bad man, Murray, you're evil man, Murray, something like that. And then Joker does this infamous scene where he's like, what you do when you mess up a mentally ill person that is down by society, here's what you get. You fucking deserve it. He shoots him in the head. Right in the face of Murray, and Murray is now dead. And he shot him again just for good measure. And unnecessary there, but he shot him again just in case he wants to. Or anything like that. And then he goes to break or whatever. Then Joker runs out to the riot scene. The last riot scene in the movie where he's like, oh no, but before that, he went in his police car and he decided to go and then they got crashed.
Yeah.
And these 2 other people killed 2 police officers, I believe, that did the Joker mask. And Joker was laughing, throwing up blood.
Yeah.
Like he's still alive because you can't kill the Joker.
Never
That's
dies.
one thing about it. It's like Michael Myers. You cannot kill the Joker.
It's like you go down and then he sits right back up.
Exactly, kind of like Undertaker. But yeah. So we get that part. The riot happens. That was a really good scene. The way they shot the last riot scene in the movie, Joker was like doing this, whatever, with the blood on his face. That's a great scene right there. And then we go to the ending credits of the movie where he's in the mental institution, I believe, and he starts laughing or whatever, start continuing to laugh, and he walks out with blood. So my bet is they're making the second movie about it, another sequel to the movie of the 2019 one, and probably he's going to do more dangerous things. So yeah, that's the fun part of the movie, and I'm gonna let Josh take it away.
All right. So the final part, obviously he like I was saying before, I was about to finish, the part where he's at the Murray show, and basically, he meets, Batman's parents, well, Bruce's parents in this movie. You know, they criticized Arthur and they threatened him, like, I'm just like finishing up what I said about this part earlier. I just didn't like that, how they criticized him, for how he dressed and how he looked. He was just trying to, act all, like you said, vigilante. He was like half good guy, half bad guy. It kind of goes the same for Deadpool and other heroes. And, I didn't really like how he was treated, as a person-wise, trying to, like, put smiles on faces, even though he had the disorder still going on throughout the whole movie. But when they took him out of the police car, after the car, crashed and everything, they smeared blood on his face in the shape of a smile, kind of like to look like a clown. And people are like, he has clown makeup, but is that actual blood? Because before he had, just the white makeup and the blue coming down his eyes and such, and then he did this. And then, so that's when he started to act all insane. And then, they freed him, but then at the end, they're in the Arkham State Hospital. He laughs himself about a joke, and he kills his coworker that got him fired from his job, because I guess in a way he wanted revenge for him getting his job costed. But honestly, the way the movie turned out, the ending was just iconic, because after like I watched the movie, after like it came out in theaters and everything, I was like, my God, for a rated R movie, I have never seen, Joaquin Phoenix, out of all the Joker actors, I think he was the best Joker, because a lot of people say that. But
yeah, he's done a good job.
He did a good job as the Joker. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's been in so many movies, but to play the character that he played, like the way he played the Joker character is iconic. Like, you have your Heath Ledger, you have your Jack Nicholson, you have Cesar Romero from the '60s show. You have all those guys from back then, and you're like, it's not the same Joker. It's not the same look and persona. It's basically the Joker that we're seeing, that Joaquin Phoenix is portraying, is the solo story about the Joker, and like how he became the Joker villain, like the villain himself. Like, but overall, the movie was just fucking awesome. Like, it told us a great story on how his life, about how the Joker became the Joker, what his life was like. And if they do, make a sequel, hopefully, if they do, I would totally like see it again, see what we have in store. If not, I highly recommend it.
Definitely. So moving on to Wyatt.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, that was definitely good of a final part of a movie. All started before the show, when that tall guy and his mini me, which was that midget, they came in and he said, I think it was someone was looking for him, and then he had that knife, because I, like, when they were coming in, I knew exactly something was gonna happen. And he literally stabbed him in the head like 5 or 6 times.
Yes, he did.
And what he did to the midget, he kissed the midget on the forehead, and the midget walked out. And here he comes. And then here he comes off to the show. What made him get on the show again?
For comedy or whatever. For his comedy.
Yeah, so like
made
once
him
he
laugh
gets on the show, he couldn't think of any jokes or anything, and just starts to laugh. And then Murray's like to him, like, "You think killing people is funny?" And that old lady's like, literally sitting next to him, saying, "That's not funny at all." So Lily pulls gun out, shoots Murray in the head, dead. I don't think that old lady died. She was like that other guy next to her was like holding on to her.
Yeah.
I don't think she got killed.
No, she didn't.
No.
So literally, what did Joker say when he at the camera after that happened?
And like he said, and that so like ladies and gentlemen, someone like that, and they cut. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it like cut off like.
Yep, and you hear people just screaming all across that room, and you did even have like a trombone playing in the background.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you had that whole riot with Thomas Wayne, and you did have Joker get his gun out, shoot both of, Bruce's parents, both shot.
And that leads up to, Batman.
And then Bruce
stuff
is
like
just
that.
there standing there, so it all leads to him to be the superhero.
Yep.
And all that riot's there, and Joker's in the cop car, and then an ambulance crashes, knocks down the police car, and a taxi rolls over. You have all these riots, people in clown masks, and what made those people all defend Joker again?
Because they like feel like an outsider like him, and it basically how the Joker feels kind of feel like an outsider, and Murray so-called wants to help them because they're like in poverty or something like that, or some kind of debt or something like that, and they wanted to get out of that, and Thomas Wayne is like, oh, I'm gonna help you guys, or whatever like that. So it's kind of like they're feeling like the outsider, feeling like they're not included.
How's the best way to explain it?
Right. That's what I think it is.
What?
Just feeling like you're not important, basically. That's why they're probably doing it.
Yep. And I think there was that clown with a green suit, and those other two. Like, Joker was definitely not dead, but that cop there who was driving the car was dead. So you have him laying there, and literally Joker stands on top of the ambulance, and literally all the people in the clown mask are literally surrounding him, praising the shit out of him with the fire in the background, the torches, city riots everywhere, all over the city, and then literally till the end, literally to the end, you had him smoke a cigarette in the mental facility and literally walking down with blood prints walk on his feet, on the shoes, walking down the hallway and playing the song, him dancing down the hallway saying, "This is the life."
Yep.
I'm telling you, that was definitely one of the most badass ways to end off a movie.
Totally.
Like, Joker is definitely one of the most badass superheroes I've ever super villains I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely that.
What? Wait, hold on. Just trying to remember. The name of. Okay, it was Joaquin
Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, that's right. All right, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix really knew how to play the Joker well, not gonna lie.
Yep.
He really did it well, and I think it was the best way to tell the story of how he became the Joker, because all supervillains, I think, should tell their story of how they become, because I knew they at least have to have something wrong with them,
Yeah.
Totally.
With that. But, I mean, I wonder if they have they had a movie about how Batman and Joker became arch rivals.
They should.
I think maybe. I'm not a big DC fan, so I don't know.
Yeah, I like DC, but I'm not really, I'm more into Marvel movies because the Marvel movies have a lot of emotion and good story to them. It's not my opinion, but DC, the thing about DC, they've had bad movies for years, and, they stepped it up first with Shazam, and then Aquaman, and then, with the Joker and such like that. They stepped it up after a while.
Yeah.
That's why I'd rather review Aquaman next month. Not next month, next week. But yeah, definitely great. Honestly, the movie just, it wasn't the best at the beginning, but it just got more badass since the middle to the end.
Right.
Yeah. For build up. So, where's it going yet? AJ.
Okay, for this fourth and final part of the movie, I have wrote a lot, so this might take a little bit long. But
Okay.
so this is when Arthur put himself in the fridge, and then Arthur was asked to be on the Murray Franklin show, and he said yes. And then he was walking to a mental hospital and had a conversation with a man who works there, and he wanted that form that he wanted to know if he was adopted or not. And then he tried to take the form, and then boom, took it out of the man's hands, and then he found out what his life is about. And he was crying, he was emotional. And then Arthur visited his mom again, and then Arthur pretty much suffocated his mom with pillows and ended up killing her, like via SBSIC blah blah blah. I can't say the word S.
I don't mean to cut you off though, AJ, but yeah, that was kind of a fucked up part because it was
Yeah,
basically the disorder that caused him to do that.
yeah. But he was in this house practicing for the show, and then he was practicing a not joke, and then he had a gun in his neck, and he did not really shoot himself. The gun was not loaded. Was it loaded? I think it was not loaded, wasn't it?
It wasn't open.
Okay. And then he pretty much dyed his hair, and he put the makeup on,
Yep.
and then like Randall and Gary paid him a visit, and then Randall was saying some shit, and then boom, Arthur killed him with a knife, I believe, or scissors, I don't know. And then and then Gary was devastated, and then Arthur let Gary go without killing him, which is good. And then Joker or Arthur is dancing by the stairs, running to the streets all over the place, and then he was on a train, and then a man shoved him. There was a riot on the train with clowns. Joker and then Arthur was talking with some guys, and he is on stage with the Murray Franklin show. He was trying to tell a joke to Murray, but it was not working. Like he didn't thought any of this was funny. And then and then what you guys said earlier, like when he exposed everything about him, he pretty much killed Murray Franklin off to the head, and then put the police arrested the Joker, and then ambulance full of clowns ran over. Like I think the ambulance and the driver was the clowns, and then boom, ran over the police car, and then the clowns were trying to rescue Arthur, and then people were getting shot everywhere. And then Joker is getting in an audience full of people who were protesting, which are clowns. And then at the end, Arthur was telling jokes, and as he was taken to a mental institution.
Yep.
I thought this movie was good. Like I didn't really like the beginning part when the kids ganged up and attacked him.
Yeah, just because he
That
was
made
dressed
no
like a clown,
sense.
right?
No sense. But I feel like this movie was really good overall.
Totally. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Jason.
So since we're on the ending here, final part.
Yep.
This was quite a chaotic and emotional way to end off the movie.
Yes.
Definitely.
Like you had the riots, you have the Joker being on the talk show.
Yep.
And
the Murray show.
And then he does have some dance moves. which was hilarious.
Yes.
It was.
And then and that's where he killed that person, which that was chaotic.
Murray.
Frank.
And then you had those you had those two people saving the Joker from a police car, and then it went from how like it was during that riot that happened there. And after that you get taken to like some type of a hospital where Arthur was at,
Yes.
which I thought that was pretty interesting, and
Yeah.
the rest of the
blood.
movie was emotion, and that's like the build up to the Joker.
Yeah. And he
It
also had
builds up
blood
for
on his shoes.
the
I'm
character.
debating to put that nurse on the kill, but I'm gonna leave it off for now because they didn't put that just yet. So I'm gonna leave that off for now. So, did we get Josh yet?
Yeah, I already went.
So we got everybody here. You know what? Let's just do the
I'm all done.
ratings. I'm gonna do myself last. So, let's go with Wyatt first.
8.
8. Josh.
For this movie, I watched it first and watched it again. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I felt like it told a great story. It told it told a great story of the character as a solo character, basically of his own movie. Basically, told the story about about some of the good and the bad lifestyles of Arthur / the Joker, and yeah, I thought it just told really a good story in general about how the Joker became one of the most badass supervillains in the DC universe.
Yep. AJ.
Okay, so this movie for me is getting me a 9 out of 10. There was like one part I didn't really like, which is obviously what I said before: the kids getting up and attacking him. Yeah, that made no sense. But overall, this movie was really good. I recommend everyone watching this. Like, if you had the time right now, if you had HBO Max, go ahead, sign into that app, and then watch this fucking movie, because this movie right here is fucking badass. What a movie, dude.
Yeah. Jason.
So to me, this movie as a whole was the build up to the Joker, and
Yes.
Right.
I thought it was a success, even though like it started off a little bit slow to getting more chaotic and emotion. I would give this a 10 because I thought this movie did great build up.
Actually, for me, I'm gonna switch to a 9.
To a 9.
Alright. I love.
All right.
They're in the same range as me. Good.
All right. For me, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. And the
Ooh.
reason why I say that is because it really comes full circle with everything that happened to the Joker at the beginning when he got jumped and was going with his mother, and his medication not working out, got fired from his job. It led him have a downward spiral, and he's not really trying to do what he's doing. He just can't really help it. And they really tell a great story with this one. This is a great storytelling movie that they did, and I fucking love it for sure. And I think it's recommended for sure. I would definitely recommend it for all of you to watch it. And hopefully make it a second one. Hopefully, I think it's going to a second one. I'm not sure just yet, but yeah, just 10 out of 10 for me. Just the way storytelling is and how psychologically is fucking phenomenal for what it was. Like, I can agree with the kids kicking them, whatever, but it led to something like him getting basically his revenge basically on them. So Joaquin Phoenix, you did a great job as Joker. Everyone else did a great job in this movie. And yeah, so let's move on to the outros. So I'm gonna go first. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Cinematic Analysis. When we move the Joker, I will announce next. Well, actually, Jason will announce next movie after this.
I have it here.
So yeah, that's what I gotta say. Check out the Moshcast. I wasn't there, but check their episode out with Lost Souls. Check out me and Wyatt's episode on the Royal Rumble 2005. I crashed and
On Crash
burned.
and Burn.
Yeah, I'll check that out as well. Next one should be out hopefully Thursday or Sunday. So yeah, pretty much gotta say about that. And I will give it to Jason.
So, thanks for watching this episode of Cinematic Analysis, where we reviewed the Joker movie. Again, a great movie here, and our next one we got is Shazam.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the next movie, and
as you can tell by my T-shirt.
And yeah, thank you for watching. Our next episode for Crash and Burn, the predictions for the Royal Rumble. So that's coming up. For the Moshcast is Decade 2 by the Veer Union. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode and go check out the movie on HBO Max when you get the chance.
Totally.
Let's go with Wyatt.
Thank you all for watching another episode of Cinematic Analysis, the Hollywood's most hit podcast out of all of movies. Yeah, I just came up with a new intro slogan. So yeah, subscribe to this channel. Hopefully Cinematic Analysis grows. Definitely gonna complete DC month with the next movie we are reviewing, which is Shazam. And follow all the other members on their social medias and keep living like a movie star.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right, we have to add that into the list.
Yep.
What did you say the slogan was?
That's our slogan. That's our catchphrase. Keep living like a movie star.
That's actually cool.
The intro slogan that you came up with.
Hollywood's most hit podcast out of all of the movies.
Okay.
Hey, I like it.
Okay.
That's
good.
I like that. Thank you, Wyatt. Let's move to Josh.
What a great debut for Wyatt here.
All right. Thank you guys for watching the fastest rising podcast in all of movies.
Okay, that's a good one too.
The what?
The fastest rising podcast in all of movies.
So
cinema, babe.
And Hollywood's fastest rising podcast in all of movies, Cinematic Analysis. We hope you guys enjoyed our movie review of Joker. Definitely a movie you should check out. It's a recommendation from everybody here. So yeah, follow everybody on their socials. Stay tuned for our next review of our next DC movie. As you could tell by my T-shirt here, Shazam. Definitely another favorite movie of mine. Stay tuned for that review. Also, check out the newest episodes up on our other podcasts, Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast and the Moshcast. Check the description below to subscribe to both channels and follow all three podcasts on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, etc. You know where to find us. Follow everybody else on their socials. Follow all these wonderful people and support what they do. Definitely check out our fellow co-host of the podcast, Heavy Metal Joker Julian. Go check out his IGTV content. Follow Madi on Twitch. You can follow your boy on Twitch as well. Check the description for all the links, info, and more. Stay tuned, guys, and we'll see you guys the next time. Keep living like a movie star, and we'll see you guys on our next shoot.
All right. So, AJ, end it off.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of Cinematic fucking Analysis. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode when we review Joker. And overall, I really enjoy this movie. And I apologize for not doing cinematic fucking analysis in the beginning. But anyway.
Fucking analysis.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I hope we see you guys next time. Keep up with a motherfucking star.
All right.
All right. So that is it. So that's Jason. That's Lucas. Myself. That's AJ. That's Josh. And that is Wyatt, as he's somewhere. And we will see you next time.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Cinematic.
Yeah.
And,
we'll see you for Shazam.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.